In the quiet moments, when the world dims and the performance pauses, who are you? Stripped of the roles you play, the expectations you meet, the carefully constructed narratives you project. When the applause dies, and the spotlight moves on, what remains? We are all, in essence, performers. We craft our gestures, moderate our tones, filter our truths. We learn early that authenticity, raw and unvarnished, can be inconvenient. Often, even dangerous. So, we pretend. We pretend to be stronger, wiser, happier, more content. We chase an ideal, a perfect reflection of what we believe others want to see, or what we've been told we should be. But what happens when the reflection becomes all there is? When the echo of who you think you are drowns out the quiet, desperate whisper of who you actually are? What happens when you fall so deeply into the act of pretending that you forget the original script entirely? Elias Vance was, by all accounts, a success story. His mornings began with the soft, encouraging chime of his peak performance assistant, called Aura. "Good morning, Elias. Your sleep cycle achieved optimal REM duration. Nutrition recommendation, proglycine smoothie. Affirmation, today, I embody excellence." Elias would rise, his movements precise, almost choreographed. His apartment was a testament to minimalist perfection, sleek lines, muted tones, intelligent surfaces that anticipated his needs. His wardrobe, curated by Aura, presented the ideal ensemble for his daily schedule: thought leader casual, for his morning podcast; impact investor sharp, for his virtual board meeting; accessible mentor warm, for his afternoon workshop. He hosted The Growth Mindset, a top-ranked podcast on personal optimization and entrepreneurial success. His online courses, Mastering Your Metrics and Authentic Influence, had millions of subscribers. His social media feeds were a meticulously crafted tapestry of aspirational living: sunrise meditations, plant-based culinary masterpieces, insightful quotes overlaid on breathtaking drone footage of natural landscapes, all of it subtly branded with his personal logo. Elias was a brand. A lifestyle. A philosophy. He was the living embodiment of the advice he dispensed. He was calm, articulate, perpetually optimistic, and unfailingly, perfectly, on. Every word, every gesture, every curated moment of Elias's public life was designed for maximum impact, for optimal engagement. He lived in a transparent cage, a self-imposed panopticon where every waking moment was potentially content. His meals were filmed for his Mindful Eating series. His workouts, for his Body as Temple segments. His thoughtful pauses during conversations, for deep reflection snippets. He even had a dedicated vulnerability architect on his team, someone whose job it was to craft carefully controlled, relatable struggles for him to share, never anything too messy, never anything that truly broke the facade. Just enough to show he was human, but not so much that he was flawed. His brand, his entire existence, was built on the premise of self-improvement, of constant striving, of an unwavering upward trajectory. And the world adored him for it. Millions hung on his every word, bought his books, subscribed to his platforms. They wanted to be Elias Vance. They wanted the calm, the success, the effortless perfection. But the real Elias Vance? That was the question. Where was he? Sometimes, in the dead of night, after Aura had logged his final sleep prep affirmation and the apartment plunged into total silence, Elias would lie awake. The perfection of his surroundings, once a comfort, now felt like a suffocating shroud. His heart would pound, not with vitality, but with a frantic, nameless anxiety. He'd stare at the perfectly smooth, minimalist ceiling, and feel an ache so profound it was almost physical. He remembered a time before the brand. Before the persona. He remembered a younger Elias who loved old, dusty books, not sleek digital readers. Who found solace in the chaotic beauty of a storm, not the curated peace of a meditation app. Who enjoyed the taste of cheap, greasy pizza more than any nutrient-dense superfood smoothie. He remembered arguments with his father, loud and passionate, about art versus commerce. He remembered a girl named Lena, with unruly red hair and a laugh that shattered the quiet, who told him he was too serious, but in a good way. Where were those memories now? Buried under layers of optimized content, of positive affirmations, of strategic vulnerability, of carefully cultivated calm. He was the echo, not the voice. The reflection, not the source. One particular morning, the mask felt heavier than usual. Aura's cheerful chime felt like a clang in an empty room. His pro-glycine smoothie tasted like ash. His affirmation, "Today, I embody excellence," felt like a cruel joke. He had a live Q&A session scheduled for the growth mindset. Millions would be watching, eager for his wisdom, his infectious positivity. As he sat in his soundproof studio, the cameras warm and expectant, his image flawlessly projected onto the monitor, Elias felt a tremor in his hand. A tiny, almost imperceptible shake. Aura would flag it. His vibrational stability metric would drop. He watched his own perfectly composed face on the screen. The eyes, clear and confident. The subtle smile, reassuring and inviting. He was looking at a stranger. A memory flashed, unbidden, Lena, laughing, her head thrown back, a splash of red against a gray sky. "You always try so hard to be perfect, Elias," she'd said, wiping a tear from her eye. "But it's the imperfect bits that make you interesting." He hadn't understood then. Or perhaps, he had understood too well, and chosen the safer path. The live countdown began. 5, 4, 3. Elias took a breath. A deep, centering breath, just as he taught in Mastering Your Metrics. But this time, it felt like he was breathing through concrete. The director's voice buzzed in his earpiece, and, "We're live, Elias. You're on, buddy. Hello, growth seekers, and welcome back to the growth mindset. I'm Elias Vance, and today, we're going to talk about authenticity." He felt the words leave his mouth, perfectly articulated, perfectly modulated. The smile stretched across his face, effortless and warm. This was the mask. This was the performance. This was Elias Vance, the brand. He saw the comments begin to scroll on his private monitor, so inspiring. "Love your wisdom, Elias. Needed this today." He was feeding them what they craved. Hope. Certainty. The illusion of attainable perfection. But as he spoke, something shifted. A tiny crack in the façade. He looked at the projected image of himself, so confident, so composed. And for a fleeting moment, he hated him. He hated this perfect, smiling stranger who had stolen his life. Authenticity, it's not about being flawless. It's about being true to your core. About aligning your actions with your deepest values. About shedding the layers of expectation, and revealing what truly lies beneath. He paused. His script, glowing on the teleprompter, held the next carefully crafted paragraph about vulnerability as a strength. But Elias felt a different word form in his mind. Lies. His entire existence was a lie. A beautiful, aspirational, meticulously maintained lie. He felt a sudden, desperate urge. A suicidal impulse to just stop. To stand up, walk away, and let the cameras record an empty chair. To shatter the glass and finally let the real Elias bleed out into the digital ether. His metrics were surely plunging. Aura would be screaming alerts. His team would be in a panic. But he couldn't stop. The words kept coming, but they felt like someone else's. And that, my friends, is where true power lies. In the courage to embrace your truth, no matter how uncomfortable. To step into your light, and allow it to illuminate all that you are. He finished the segment. The "thank you for joining me" was automatic. The final, radiant smile was locked in place as the feed cut to the post-show graphics. His earpiece immediately crackled. Elias. What was that pause? Your engagement dip hit 8%. His manager, Marcus, sounded furious. And your emotional modulation spiked. We nearly had a brand consistency alert. What was going on? Elias closed his eyes. He felt utterly drained. The energy required to maintain the mask had just about consumed him entirely. Just a moment of reflection, Marcus. Connecting with the material. Deep work. He heard Marcus sigh, a sound of frustrated resignation. All right, Elias. Just keep it tighter next time. Your metrics are gold. Don't mess with the gold. The call ended. Elias sat in the silence of the studio. The cameras, now dark, stared back like blind eyes. He reached up and touched his face. His fingers brushed against his skin, but it felt alien. It felt like a mask. He walked over to the full-length mirror, ignoring Aura's gentle prompt for his next scheduled activity. He stared at his reflection. The perfect hair. The defined jawline. The intelligent, piercing eyes. The carefully cultivated calm that radiated from every pore. He saw the brand. He saw Elias Vance, the thought leader. The mentor. The success story. He didn't see himself. The next few weeks were a blur of scheduled perfection. More podcasts. More workshops. More carefully curated social media posts. The routine was a well-oiled machine, relentless and unyielding. Elias tried to find cracks, moments where he could just breathe. But every moment was accounted for. Every minute optimized. Every thought, every feeling, was potentially a data point, a metric, a risk to his carefully built empire. He remembered Lena telling him once, "You're building a beautiful prison, Elias. Just make sure you can find the key." He had thought she was being dramatic. Now, he wondered if she'd been a prophet. The key seemed to be buried somewhere deep beneath the polished surface of his own life, inaccessible. He felt the detachment growing, a cold, clinical distance from his own existence. He was merely observing the performance, not living it. The public Elias Vance was thriving. The private Elias Vance was slowly, silently, atrophying. His hands shook more often now. Small tremors that he had to consciously suppress. His perfectly modulated voice sometimes caught, a tiny hitch that only he could hear. He was losing the fight. The mask was winning. One evening, after a particularly grueling day of authentic engagement, Elias found himself staring at a screen of old files. Files he hadn't opened in years. Pre-brand. Pre-aura. Pre-perfection. Hidden deep within a forgotten cloud archive, protected by layers of obsolete security, was a single folder, Lena. He clicked on it. A flurry of old images appeared. Blurry photos of a younger Elias, messy-haired and genuinely smiling, his arm around a vibrant, red-headed Lena. A video clip of them, soaked to the bone in a sudden downpour, laughing hysterically, their voices raw and unpolished. A scanned drawing of a fantastical creature Elias had sketched, crude but full of life. He saw the chaos. The imperfection. The joy. And a deep, aching wound opened in his chest. A dam broke. He felt a single tear trace a path down his cheek, disrupting the smooth, calm façade. Then another. And another. He remembered the arguments with his father about art. The passion he once had for creation, not optimization. He remembered Lena's belief in his messy, beautiful self. And he realized something terrifying. He had become everything he pretended to be for the world. The mask had become him. His private biomonitor, still diligently recording his true state, flared. Heart rate, critical. Cortisol, max. Emotional dysregulation, extreme. Aura's voice, calm and perfect, cut through the escalating alarm. Elias. Your biometric data indicates a significant deviation from optimal emotional baseline. Recommend immediate mindfulness reboot. Initiating guided breathing protocols. A soft, synthesized voice began to guide him. Inhale calm, exhale tension. Elias ignored it. He was crying now, silent, ragged sobs that shook his entire frame. The tears flowed freely, washing away the carefully constructed façade, stripping away the layers of perfection. He looked back at the screen, at the images of Lena, of his younger self. And he saw a reflection of a life he had traded for an echo. His private monitor flashed, authenticity score, true 0.1. He was almost gone. But as the tears flowed, something else happened. A strange lightness. A feeling of relief. The weight of the mask, the crushing pressure of performance, began to lift. He closed the old folder. He looked at the perfect, pristine room, at the cameras, at the monitors waiting for him to resume his performance. And for the first time in years, a thought formed that was entirely his own, uncurated, unoptimized, gloriously, dangerously imperfect. He would stop. He didn't know how. He didn't know what would happen. He knew the collective would dismantle his life. His empire would crumble. He would lose everything the mask had supposedly gained him. But he would be free. He might lose his apartment. His money. His followers. His platform. The next morning, Aura chimed, as always. Good morning, Elias. Your sleep cycle achieved optimal REM duration. Nutrition recommendation, proglycine smoothie. Affirmation, today, I embody excellence. Elias didn't move. He didn't respond. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. His private monitor pulsed. No response. Deviation detected. Initiating protocol, wellness check. Aura's voice took on a slightly more urgent tone. Elias? Are you experiencing a low motivation cycle? Would you like to access your mindfulness reboot module? Still, Elias didn't move. He felt a profound calm settle over him, an emptiness that was no longer terrifying, but liberating. He reached over, picked up his tablet, and slowly, deliberately, opened his social media feed. His meticulously curated posts filled the screen, the perfect sunrise, the plant-based smoothie, the profound quote. All of it glowing with the reflected light of a life that wasn't his. He typed, his fingers moving slowly, not for optimization, but for deliberate intention. For years, I've told you how to live. How to optimize. How to be perfect. But the truth is, I was pretending. All of it. The calm. The certainty. The perfection. It was a mask. And I wore it until I nearly suffocated. I don't know who I am anymore. But I'm going to find out. And it won't be on a podcast, or in a course, or on this feed. It will be messy. It will be imperfect. And it might mean losing everything you thought you knew about Elias Vance. Thank you for being here, for listening. But this isn't my story anymore. It's time to write a new one. He hit post. Immediately, his feed exploded. Notifications. Comments. Shares. Likes. Dislikes. Brand alerts. Corporate warnings. The digital world recoiled, then convulsed, as its carefully constructed icon shattered. Aura's voice, now sharp with alarm, pierced the chaos. Elias. Your brand consistency is plummeting. Your authenticity score, public, has entered critical negative territory. Immediate corrective action required. Elias looked at the tablet. At the chaotic, screaming digital world. Then, slowly, deliberately, he pressed a button. The screen went dark. The notification stopped. The alarm ceased. The hum of the apartment, the subtle presence of constant monitoring, all of it, gone. He was silent. Alone. And for the first time in a very long time, Elias Vance felt utterly, terrifyingly, beautifully, real. He had stepped out of the echo chamber. He had shattered the reflection. He had chosen the unknown, messy, difficult path of simply being. What happens next for Elias? We don't know. The story, like life, doesn't always provide a neat, perfect ending. But sometimes, the most authentic act is to simply walk away from the performance. Elias's story is an extreme example, a future we hope to avoid. But the core of it, the echo of it, lives in all of us, right now. In the pressure to present a perfect life online. In the unspoken rules of our workplaces. In the masks we wear for our loved ones, believing we're protecting them, when perhaps we're only hiding ourselves. We pretend, for so many reasons. For safety. For love. For acceptance. For success. But at what cost? When does the mask become a part of us, so seamlessly integrated that we forget the face underneath? When does the echo of who we project drown out the quiet, desperate whisper of who we truly are? It's a question worth asking. Every day. Every moment. Because the journey back to ourselves, away from the echoes and the reflections, is perhaps the most courageous act of all. It is messy. It is inconvenient. It is terrifying. But it is real. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next reflection.